So what's your relationship like with the animated cartoons now?
I love it. It's just such a hard art form to like make work. It's so expensive.
Right.
It's so expensive, but it's also like one of the ultimate creative expressions. Because like you can draw, you can animate anything.
Anything, yeah.
Any scenario you can possibly think of, you can draw and make happen. And so like,
right.
It's awesome. And it's low budget relative to like, if I was going to make a sci-fi movie
right.
that actually looks realistic and cool, that's way more expensive than just a sci-fi anime. It's all the same amount of drawing.
Tons of millions of dollars.
But I've also seen like doing the alpha beta shit, like just how it's worked, like how it works with Hollywood. And it's like, it's very much, it's a business. It's very much a business. It's not about like what creatively just is the best. And I'm not saying alpha betas was like the best. Obviously that's like kind of what we're talking about, but
right.
It's also like, even if something is good, a network or a company might not pick it up if they don't have the budget and they don't think they need that demographic covered. That was our issue.
Okay.
At the time. I felt like we had a good show. I felt like it's better than even some stuff you could find on Netflix, or not everything obviously, but
right.
I felt like it was good enough to be there. But like these companies like, yeah, we have male 18 to 30 demographic on lock. That's mostly what your show caters to. We know that because of your YouTube analytic data. We don't need this. And also a lot of the companies, they want to be involved in the creative process. Do
you know why?
I don't know why, but that was the feedback we got from Netflix was like, we want you to give us an idea.
Right.
And then we'll take it and run with it. And we were like, no, we have the show. It's done. It's ready.
Right.
We just need money to make more episodes. Give us the money and you put it on your platform and make money.
Right.
And they were like, that's not what they like. They like, which I mean, Netflix makes great stuff. So like it makes a bit of sense for them. Most Netflix, what is it called? Premieres or whatever, or like originals, Netflix originals. Yeah. Their stuff is very good. So
yeah.
I get it from that aspect, but
yeah, I mean, it was such a good show. Every time I hear you talk about it, or Terrorizer Nogla online, or when I was talking to Marcel, it's like you guys all use past tense. It was a good show.
Because it's over at this point. Like a lot of people ask about it. It's like there was a writer strike that just happened at the wrong time.
Right.
Like we did the crowdfunding and that was amazing, but like I don't want to ask viewers for that kind of money ever again. Right. I'm incredibly gracious to the people that did it, and I hope they feel like they got their money's worth and got a good product out of it. And we truly, not a single penny went to us. We didn't make a dime.
Right. Yeah.
Me and all the guys, none of us made a penny from all the alpha beta stuff we made. No company did. Maybe 3BD made a little bit to pay people that were involved, right? But
right.
It was crowdfunded, and like we can't do that again. We don't really want to upfront the money because we gave it a good go twice and it just didn't work. It just didn't pan out. So it's
a good product.
But
I think it was a good product.
I love that. I love the anime, and I liked doing the voice acting too. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't great at it, but I wasn't bad at it. And like it was something I was like I could get better. But I can also only do my voice, really. That's something I felt.
But like you're not doing an audiobook.
No, but I was like I was doing my character. So it's like I can only do my character.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
but like I'm pretty decent at doing that. But
I think it was a good show. What every one of like my peers thought it was going to be. That was going to be it. Like I remember when the video
we thought it was like a no-brainer.
Right.
We were like, bro, we have this good concept. We're all creative. We're going to be able to make something awesome that our audience for sure is going to be obsessed with.
Right.
With at the time, you add up all the YouTube subs, it's 50 million subs or whatever. Like
right, yeah,
that many people-ish are going to be interested in this right away.
Right.
There's no way a network doesn't pick it up.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen.
Just didn't happen. Is there...
And I don't see how, other than what I described to you of just like the actual financials and business aspect of it, that is irrelevant of how quality the product is that they're looking to put their money into. If it doesn't fit a need they have in terms of where they're looking to get new audience and viewers and stuff, it just doesn't work.
And the demographic, like what funny animated show is not going to cater to 15 to 20 year olds?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like what animated show are they looking for that's going to hit 30 to 50 year olds?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
It was also at a weird time with like all the COVID stuff. It was just a weird time. It was just like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It is what it is. I'm still proud of like what we did and I like it. And I would be open to doing it again if somehow some company came up and was like, we saw what you did with alpha betas. We would love you guys to come make a show. I would do it in a heartbeat.
Would you want to do alpha betas? Or would you want to do
I think it was a really
else?
good concept. I think Chris and Dave did a really good job. My only qualms with it was learning the actual production aspect of it and how little we were able to like put our taste, like twist on things.
Right.
And that's purely because of the number of people involved, the amount of money required, and like the timeline to keep things moving. It was like, we would love you guys to be more involved, but like this shit has to move. Like we can't wait on you guys to give feedback and do that. Like we have timelines to hit. And if we don't hit the timelines, you run out of budget and you can't even make the show. That was like kind of eye-opening and like a new aspect.
You can't kind of run a TV show how you run your YouTube channel. Yeah.
And like, I think Chris and Dave did a pretty good job and they wrote obviously all the script basically, and then we reviewed the script and we would change based on like, oh, my character wouldn't say this way or do this.
Right.
And then we further revised that when it was actually time to do the lines, because I would like revise the lines and then do it. And I'm like, even that now doesn't sound right. Let me do it this way. I keep dropping my phone. And so, yeah, I think they did a pretty good job, but like I would have loved for me and my friends to be more involved in the script writing.
Right.
Because a lot of what it was they would kind of storyboard. We would kind of give our feedback to the storyboard.
Right.
They would be gone for like a week or 2 weeks and then come back with the full script. And there was very little changes we could make to the full script other than just how we said our lines. It's like they wrote most of the jokes, whereas we would give some jokes during the storyboarding process.
Right.
I would have loved it to be like me and my friends there every step of the way writing the script.
Yeah, of course.
And, like every joke.
I think that's what people would want too. Because like if you guys are the four voices.
Yeah, it's just, it was just hard. It's just, we're not writers. So like we couldn't do all the writing. So we had to hire writers. And when you hire writers want to write. They want to do their thing. And you're hiring them because they're good at what they do.
But when you hire writers and you guys are the creators that you are, like you're like, hey, we're kind of edgy. Like we kind of push the envelope in a sense, especially in the gaming scene, which is already a little more, edgy in the first place. That's what the show should revolve around. That's what our audience expects. Do they write that way?
No. Because they're like, okay.
Like if we're writing for Comedy Central.
They're like, great feedback for us. However, we've sold a show before. We know what you need to do to like actually make it marketable and a product that a company wants to buy.
I mean, say you have a time machine, you go back to, 2017, 2019 Tyler. Do you tell him like, let's just put it on YouTube? Knowing what you know now.
Yeah, I don't know. I think maybe if we still had the same passion and drive of what we did at the time, maybe we do the crowdfunding thing first.
Okay.
And then we produce it entirely ourselves.
Right.
Because we did some animations that we produced. I say we, mostly Evan Vanos produced pretty much himself.
Yeah.
And those were like better in some ways.
Really?
I think they were funnier and like better crafted in terms of like the jokes.
Right.
And like how our characers work, but they didn't have like a compelling story. It's just so much harder than you think. It gave me a new appreciation for like TV shows and movies in general.
I already think it's
hard to like really write a good story and develop characters while fitting in jokes and making everything move while being under budget.
Right.
Really hard.
Finding writers and animators and directors and now we have a product. How do we sell it?
It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult. So like now it's like I think back to like movies or TV shows I watched where I was like, that wasn't perfect. It's like, that was pretty damn good given I know how this process works now.
Right, yeah.
This shit is hard, yeah.
Yeah, I can fucking imagine. I think Marcel told me about how the initial end of the show was going to be, and it was just someone saying the hard R.
Yeah,
and I was like, what the fuck?
It was like a password to open a door, and the hint was like something you said in Call of Duty in 2013, and then like we would guess some random like swear word. Not crazy, just a random swear word. And like, no, and then it would give us a hint. And the hint was like, it's a 6-letter word, blank, blank, GG, blank, blank. And then the idea was like,
Marcel.
Oh, I'm not going to say that. Evan's like, I'm not going to say it. Marcel's like, I got this, guys. He's the black guy. So he's going to come and say it. And he says the N word and he goes, eh. And the reason is because it's actually the F slur, which has the same G's in the same place and is the same. That was like our baby, that joke. And it didn't make it in.
Because I mean,
it was like Marcel had this big moment where he's going to, I got this. And he says it and it's still wrong because it's actually the F slur, which is the same exact layout.
Oh my God. That is, I mean, there's something funny about it. It sucks that it didn't pan out how it would have.
But like, that was a thing that like the writers are like,
we're never going to be able to.
That's not exactly doable. And so it ended up being like the C word, which actually gets you demonetized on YouTube.
Yeah. Which is still
see you next Tuesday. That was actually the word that was like, oh, you can't say that. And then one of us says it and that's the password. That's what it ended up being.
Really?
That's what it was in that episode.
Oh, in the show? I can't remember it, but
it was like the password is something so vile, so horrible, and like that was the word. And I was like, okay. I mean, like
it's like English people say that all the time.
Yeah.
Every sentence.
Exactly. And that was the other joke. They're like, what? People say it in Australia all the time. Like, what's the big deal?
Yeah.